I spent some time on a volunteer project in Costa Rica with some other people. It was a great conservation project, and I was proud to be a part of it. I was able to spend time in the beautiful country that my dad's family came from, and because I was able to contribute to an important conservation project that I believe could make the world better in the long run. And yes, I was able to be around endangered animals, which for me was never a bad thing. I had my master's degree and was excited to put my knowledge and education to work for a great cause. And I had just broken up with a girl I'd been dating and needed to get away. We weren't right for each other, and I knew that. I just wanted to be away from her and her drama. And the project was right near the beach, and there was great surfing, so what could be better? I had a great time. I was single and enjoying it. My ex-girlfriend had messaged me a few times. It bugged me that she was doing this. She had issues with drama. One of the employees, Adam, had a friend coming to volunteer for a few weeks. I had made friends with this guy. He seemed cool. I'm pretty laid back, and I get along with most people, so even though there was some drama with the younger volunteers, girls, newly out of high school, I didn't get involved with the pettiness. I never liked it before, so I ignored it then. I kept my head down and did my work, trying to make a good impression with the hope that I might get a job out of this. I was given a lot of work, and different work from the usual volunteers. I got to get out and do a lot of hiking and other stuff. And that was fine because the other volunteers didn't want to do a lot of physical work. It all went well. And then Adam's friend arrived. I couldn't believe it. Bonnie was beautiful in that natural way that requires no makeup. She had the softest, loveliest smile and way about her. I couldn't stop thinking about her. Lucky Adam, I thought. I could tell that Emma, one of the younger girls, didn't like her. The other girls were not all that welcoming either. I figured it was because young girls get jealous. And this Emma flirted with everyone, especially Adam. Perhaps Emma was jealous because she wasn't the prettiest girl there anymore. Adam's friend either didn't notice or was ignoring the rude behavior, and I liked her for that. We all went out of town to have a fun night and party. We were all dancing. Adam got a little tipsy, and that was all right because we took a taxi into town. There isn't a drinking age in Costa Rica, so everyone got served, including Emma. And as we were dancing, I noticed that Emma was overtly flirting with Adam. Bon just seemed to be having a good time and ignored Emma's provocative behavior. I liked Bonnie even more because of that. She was a grown-up. She just kept dancing. I really liked watching her dancing. She just moved with joy and genuine energy. And yes, I couldn't take my eyes off her. And then, some guy asked if she and I were together. When I told Bon, she rolled her eyes and kept dancing. And that made me laugh, and I liked her even more. Emma and Adam were hooking up on the dance floor. I thought it was inappropriate, but felt really happy. After all, if Adam and Bonnie were together, he would not be hooking up with Emma, let alone right in front of her. The next day, I noticed that there was some tension between Bonnie and Adam. I also noticed that Emma was extra bitchy to Bonnie. Bonnie was very quiet, and she made a point of requesting jobs that other girls didn't typically like to do, like to forage for fruit for the animals and nuts for some of the birds. And she was also working as a writer while she was there. I thought that was a cool job because she could do it anywhere. That meant that she could stay there longer, and that would be cool because then I could get to know her better, especially since she and Adam were obviously not together. I had the perfect opportunity one day while I was doing data entry. Bonnie approached with her laptop, asking if it was all right if she could work at the table where I was sitting. Of course, I said. She sat down and started to work. She didn't look happy like she usually did. She looked lonely. I couldn't blame her. No one was talking to her. So I started to talk to her. At first, Bonnie seemed a bit reserved. But in a matter of minutes, we were laughing together, and I loved her smile. I couldn't look at her without smiling. We became best friends, and I started to request that she help me with tracking and observations so that she could report to me. We sat next to each other at dinner, and I could tell that she was not as close to Adam as we had initially thought. Cool. I really liked this woman, and she liked me. I wanted to ask Bonnie to do something, just the two of us. I wanted to tell her how I felt. But when? Finally, the opportunity presented itself. We all went out together as a group to a pub in the local village. I was flirting with Bonnie, and she was smiling at me, laughing. I loved the way she looked at me like she thought I was special. She and Adam seemed to be friends again. I had made some joke, and Bonnie just looked at me laughing. And then there was this moment where we just looked at each other smiling. Adam suggested that he and I get a drink at the pub across the way. I agreed. I started chatting with Adam and told him about how I liked Bonnie and was really interested in her. Adam nodded his head very seriously, and then he said, "Bonnie is lovely, and she is a lot of fun, but I think that she's using you to make me jealous." "Oh, really?" I asked. "I don't know. I feel like she really likes me. I've never felt this way before." It was true. I had never fallen for someone so fast. "Yeah, she is very good at making people feel that way," Adam said. "She and I were close. She made me feel like that. She was upset because I hooked up with Emma." I felt crushed. I felt mad. I was mad at Bonnie and at myself. While I was working on my undergrad, there was a girl who used me to make her boyfriend jealous. Why did this keep happening to me? The next day, I could barely look at Bonnie. And when I was alone with her and she asked a question, I suggested that she ask Adam. Bonnie looked confused, but then went off to ask Adam. When she saw a drawing that I was working on, she complimented me on it, and I started to talk to her about it, and then I remembered this wasn't real. "You should talk about art to Adam," I said. Petty and stupid as it was, I was hurt and angry that she could make me feel this way, and to make me believe that she really liked me. I started to ignore her. She looked confused and genuinely hurt. But Adam knew her, and he had basically said that she was acting. I felt so angry that I couldn't even look at her. I stopped going out of my way to talk to her. I basically ignored her for a couple of days, and Bonnie stopped trying to talk to me. I started messaging my ex-girlfriend, and she wanted to come and stay with me on the project. So I said, sure, even though I didn't think this was her kind of thing. She was not an outdoorsy person. I did talk to Bonnie again, of course. She needed help with something, and without thinking, I offered. Bonnie was tense. I could see it. I figured that was because she knew that I was onto her. As we were walking back from our errand, Bonnie said something funny, and I couldn't help it. I laughed. "Aha! There you are," she said, smiling. I smiled back at her. It was our look, our smile. "I thought you were mad at me," Bonnie said. "I thought I had offended you somehow." "There is nothing that you could do that would offend me," I said without thinking, and Bonnie smiled and went back to work. She must be the best actress in the world because I feel this way, and I feel like she likes me too. You know what I'm talking about. You just know. But Adam had said that she was just manipulating me. Adam had invited her to lunch and had been spending time with her the last couple of days. So now that they were together, why was she still talking to me? It was getting close to the time that she was supposed to go home. I was helping her with a ladder when she said, "I'm going to miss it here, and I'm really going to miss you. I really think you are awesome." I laughed and said, "Of course I am," and then walked away. I admit it. I felt like I was going to cry or tell her how I felt about her or whatever. I didn't want her to see me upset. I didn't want her to see me like that. I didn't want to give her the satisfaction. As she was packing up and getting her stuff together the day before she was supposed to go home, Bonnie told me that she really wanted to keep in touch. I couldn't take it anymore. I had blown her off. I was on to her. And she wanted to be friends with me? I couldn't take it anymore. Sure, as long as it's all right with Adam, I said. Adam? Why would it bother him? She asked. Look, I know you were just using me to make him jealous, I said. I couldn't help it. I don't like game players. What are you talking about? Bonnie asked. Adam told me that, I said. Why would I make him jealous? Bonnie asked. He and I don't see each other like that. Then why were you mad at him for hooking up with Emma? Because I had been telling him about this creepy guy at the other project who hooks up with underage girls, Bonnie said. Because I reported the creep to the moderator thinking I was behaving ethically, and Adam wanted me to. After I did that, Adam goes and hooks up with an underage girl. That's why I was mad at him. I felt used. I felt like a jerk. I thought that you were only talking to me because of him, I said. I'm sorry that you think that I'm that kind of person, Bonnie said. And I wonder how you view yourself, thinking that the only reason I had to talk to you would be to make someone else jealous. And with that, she hugged me and told me that she really wanted to keep in touch. And then she was gone. My ex-girlfriend came to the project and stayed for a while. I felt stupid for not thinking that my instincts about Bonnie were right. I felt mad at myself. I had learned a hard lesson. For whatever the reason, Adam had made me question my own judgment. Maybe I didn't believe in myself enough. Maybe I was afraid because Bonnie was so perfect. And I couldn't believe that I had met someone like her and that she could feel for me that way. Who knows? My friendship with Adam dwindled to professionalism. My ex-girlfriend turned girlfriend became my ex-girlfriend again after a few months. I messaged Bonnie from time to time, but made a point of not doing so often. I thought of her always, though. I dreamed of her at night, and whenever I saw beautiful flowers or clouds or the ocean, I thought of Bonnie. I also thought of the lesson that I learned. I learned that girls are not the only people who can be manipulative in the mating game. I learned that I should get both sides of a story before I judge someone. I learned a lot, and I felt heartbroken. I can say that it didn't end badly. I ended up getting the job, and after about a year, I saw Bonnie again. I was terrified that she wouldn't be happy to see me. I was afraid that she would not look at me the way she used to. I had nothing to worry about. We jumped back into our pre-drama mode. We laughed and joked and had real conversations and spent tons of time together. At that time, I did everything that I should have done before. Bonnie stayed longer than she had originally planned, and to this day, Bonnie and I are still together. I still love to watch her dance. So that was another lesson I learned. I learned that things are not always as they seem. Sometimes they're even better. And that second chances are real. Thank you for watching. Please click on my right to subscribe if you like the video. And don't forget to click on the bell icon when you subscribe so that you can be notified when we upload a new video. Watch more videos on the left, including our playlist. And thank you again.